Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. I want to welcome everybody here, out there watching, and any recently fired federal employees who are looking to travel for a while. Remember when Donald Trump said he was going to be a dictator only on day one? Well, evidently, his first act as dictator was declaring that day one never ends. Now, I don't want to cause panic. Frankly, I don't have the energy. But I will say that it's not the greatest news that the Trump Justice Department has fired the officials who investigated Trump. Keep in mind, the January 6th investigation was the largest single investigation in the history of the federal government. And if you fire all those people, there's going to be nobody left. They'll have to change the name to the Department of Just This Guy.
Wow.
Yes, Justin. This firing is probably, and I hope you're sitting down, illegal. Because it violates civil service protections, and it's clearly retribution, unless you ask some Republicans, like Congressman Dan Crenshaw.
Do you believe that the American people elected Trump to get revenge on federal prosecutors?
Whether this is considered revenge or not, I think is open to interpretation.
Sure. Who knows if it's revenge? It's just like that movie, V for Vambiguous. Trump's DOJ isn't just firing lawyers who worked on the January 6 cases. They're also launching investigations into specific prosecutors, which they're calling a special project. Going after honest civil servants just doing their job is not a special project. It is a disgrace. A special project is when, to protect you from the bullies on the playground, instead of going to recess, you get to help Miss Brogdon clean the erasers. That is a very special project for a very special boy who is over it. No surprise, many DOJ employees are freaking out. In fact, Biden-era prosecutors are starting to hire their own lawyers for their defense. So now the lawyers are lawyering up. And soon those lawyers will need their own lawyers, and so on and so on. You can see it all in the new Dick Wolf show, Law and 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 Order. Just kidding, more law.
Law.
In another autocratic move, the White House paused all federal grants in what is being described as a potential 5-alarm fire for nonprofit organizations. Oh, they're all going to be fine, folks. Don't you worry about it. I have a lot of experience in nonprofits. In fact, all my casinos did make a profit. All right? No. Snake eyes. Experts warned that these grants could cover everything from homeless shelters to financial aid for college students to state aid for disaster reconstruction. So it's pretty darn horrible. But it's also, and sit back down, illegal. The Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer explained Congress approved these investments and they are not optional. They are the law. The law. Sorry. Just even saying the word law makes me giggle. The law. Sorry, Chuck, but I fought the law and the me won. I ate the beef on a big bun. Sorry, I got hungry halfway through that verse and I went to Burger Town there. It's like when you're driving down the highway and you see the golden arches, you cannot deny the siren call. You gotta pull in. But wait, there's worse. Yesterday, Trump also ordered the CDC to stop working with the World Health Organization immediately. Wait. We're out of who? This is going to decimate our beloved comedy routines. Who's on first? You have dengue fever. That, of course, the classic bit of comedy from Abbott and Rubella. This move, big Rubella fans out there, this move has everybody blindsided. According to one expert who collaborates with WHO on work against sexually transmitted infections, quote, "This has really caught everyone with their pants down." Okay. Okay, well, it's an actual quote. It's a real quote. I mean, okay, well, he studies STDs. I'm guessing that's what all of his metaphors are like. Oh, Marge, that was pants down the best dinner I've ever had. I'm talking nuts to butts, bon appetit. The gag order is going to hurt us in the long run because it's happening right as CDC officials were scheduled to help the WHO pick out strains for next year's winter flu vaccine. Oh, no. Now we're not going to know about all the hottest flu trends. The rest of the world's going to be wearing low-cut vaccines, and we're all going to be in the hospital. America is also awash in H5N1 bird flu, which has infected or killed 136 million birds thus far. Epidemiologists have released this footage of the moment the outbreak started.
I say, I'm dying, boy.
Now, the birds, I'll say song. I'll say. What are we doing? Doing that? That working? That working? Now, the birds are getting even fluier because yesterday, a California farm discovered a totally different strain, the very first outbreak of the highly pathogenic H5N9 bird flu. It's pretty scary. But on the bright side, H5N9 bird flu is just one special character away from being a pretty strong password. You were always looking for one. The first strain of the bird flu hit chickens and turkeys, but this new one was found in ducks. Well, that takes out the whole turducken. How are we ever going to find 3 new delicious animals of increasing size to stuff inside each other? The pig ham pork? The hippo sheepadoodle? With bird flu running rampant, experts say Americans should expect to face record-high egg prices for most of the year. As a result, some supermarkets are limiting customers' purchases, putting up signs that read, "We are currently experiencing an egg shortage. Please consider limiting your purchase to 2 cartons." What? But if Americans don't eat more than 2 dozen eggs a day, how are we going to die of congestive heart failure? Even worse, while Americans are facing heartless egg limits, the Canadians are yoking it up, posting pictures of their dramatically cheaper egg prices. Yeah. Saying, price of eggs in Canada, eh? It, I'm with Trump. Let's bomb Saskatchewan. Speaking of whomst, Trump's whole campaign was about lowering the price of eggs. So how are they spinning the shortage?
As far as the egg shortage, what's also contributing to that is that the Biden administration and the Department of Agriculture directed the mass killing of more than 100 million chickens.
First of all those chickens had bird flu. They were culled to prevent the spread of the disease. And second, if you are upset about chicken murder, keep in mind your boss is wanted by Interpol for nugicide. Now, what's up? What's the date? What is this? 28th? That makes it, so Groundhog's Day is less than a week away now? Yeah. Less than a week away. But if PETA has their way, Punxsutawney Phil's gonna be out of a job. Because PETA wants to replace him with a weather reveal cake. That is crazy. That's insane. Who would believe that a cake could predict the weather? Cake is good for only 2 things, being delicious and granting wishes on your birthday. I'm still waiting on that pony, you lying piece of sheet cake. PETA says cake would mimic that of a sex reveal for a baby, with blue meaning 6 more weeks of winter and pink indicating an early spring. Okay, I guess that would work. Personally, I did all my gender reveals using a groundhog. But it gets worse. Tough to push. It's a tough push. It gets worse because PETA wants the weather predicting cake to be vegan. Hold on. I'm getting something, a message from the beyond. Hold on, there will be leftovers. How long was I out? How long? Oh, and I'm being told, is this true? I'm being told we have breaking news about the 43 escaped lab monkeys in my home state of South Carolina. It's time for our final update. Welcome. We have been giving you full team coverage of these escaped rhesus macaques since before Thanksgiving, so it's bittersweet to tell you that the last 4 escaped monkeys were recaptured. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because macaque is a funny word. South Carolina authorities are trying to get their hands on macaque. The final four monkeys are all female, and they're very clever. They resisted being tempted back into captivity by peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It did not work because they used natural peanut butter. Let's remember their failed flight for freedom by now lowering our bananas to half peel. Goodbye, sweet lab monkeys. May flights of angels sing you back to your lab cages, where they're gonna see if they can get you to lay eggs, because we're getting desperate. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Drew Barrymore and Brandon Scott Jones. But when we come back, the latest dating trends. They make me happy, but I'm no longer single.